Alright, let's talk. My name is Amin Soriano, and I've spent a good chunk of my life crawling through mud, wading through sewers, and generally getting my hands dirty. I've seen firsthand what makes a job work and what makes it fall apart, and it usually comes down to the people. There's a book out there by a fella named Patrick Lencioni, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, that lays it all out. It's a blueprint, really, for how teams either succeed or fail miserably. It's not about complex theories, it's about simple human truths that are easy to understand but hard to practice. Now think about the world you folks at Erector Masters operate in. We're not just talking about building a shed in the backyard. We're talking about government construction projects. The stakes here couldn't be higher. You've got taxpayer money on the line, public safety in your hands, and a mountain of regulations breathing down your neck. A single mistake, a missed deadline, a breakdown in communication, it doesn't just cost money, it can cost reputations, careers, and in some cases, it can put people in real danger. It's a high-wire act with no safety net. So when you look at Lencioni's 5 Dysfunctions, you realize this isn't just some corporate self-help guide. For a construction company in this arena, it's a survival manual. Understanding and tackling these issues, things like trust, conflict, commitment, accountability, and results, isn't just a good idea. It's the difference between a project that stands as a testament to your skill and one that becomes a cautionary tale. It's the difference between thriving and collapsing under the weight of it all. So let's roll up our sleeves and get into the guts of what makes a team truly work. The first dysfunction, and the one everything else is built on, is an absence of trust. Now, in our line of work, we trust our equipment, we trust our materials, we trust the engineering. But what about trusting the guy next to you? Not just trusting him to catch a falling wrench, but trusting him enough to say, "Hey, I screwed up," or "I need help with this." On a high-stakes government job, that kind of vulnerability is terrifying. People are afraid that admitting a mistake or a weakness will get them chewed out, or worse, kicked off the site. So they clam up. They hide their errors, they don't ask for help, and they put on a brave face while things are quietly falling apart behind the scenes. That silence, that lack of real, honest connection is the most dangerous thing on any job site. So how do you build this trust? It's not about trust falls or company picnics, though I'm sure those are nice. It starts with the folks in charge, the foreman, the project manager. They have to go first. They need to be the ones to stand up in the morning meeting and say, "Look, I misjudged the timeline on the concrete pour and we need to figure out how to fix it." When a leader shows they're human and not afraid to be vulnerable, it gives everyone else permission to do the same. It's about creating a space where honesty isn't punished. It's about regular, open check-ins where people can talk about what's really going on, the good, the bad, and the ugly, without fear of getting their head bitten off. It's a slow, deliberate process, like laying a foundation one block at a time. When you have that foundation, everything changes. The crew starts talking. The new guy feels comfortable asking the veteran how to properly set a rebar cage instead of just guessing and hoping for the best. The electrician can tell the plumber, "Your pipes are in my way," without it turning into a shouting match. It becomes a team where people have each other's backs in a real way. They share information freely, they admit their limitations, and they work together to solve problems instead of pointing fingers. That's the kind of trust that gets a government project built on time, on budget, and without any catastrophic surprises. It's the bedrock. Without it, the whole structure is compromised from day one. Once you have a little bit of trust, you earn the right to argue. And I mean that in the best way possible. Lencioni's second dysfunction is a fear of conflict. In a lot of workplaces, and especially on a construction site, conflict is a dirty word. It means yelling, it means grudges, it means someone's getting sent home. So what do? We avoid it. We sit in meetings, nodding our heads in what I call artificial harmony. The project manager lays out a plan that you know has a flaw, a serious one, but you don't say anything. You don't want to be the guy who rocks the boat, who looks like he's not a team player. So you keep your mouth shut, and that small, manageable problem you spotted festers until it becomes a big, expensive, project-derailing disaster. Healthy debate is the immune system of a project. It's how bad ideas get filtered out and good ideas get made better. Think about it. You've got dozens of experts on a single site. You have electricians, plumbers, ironworkers, masons, all with a unique perspective. The best solutions don't come from one person's brain, they're hammered out in the fire of constructive disagreement. A leader's job isn't to keep the peace, it's to mine for conflict. They need to create an environment where people know it's not just safe but expected to challenge ideas. They have to be the ones to say, all right, that's my plan. Now someone tell me why it stinks. Poke holes in it. What are we missing? It's about separating the idea from the person and attacking the problem, not each other. When a team isn't afraid to disagree, the meetings sound different. They're not quiet and polite. They're loud, they're passionate, and they're incredibly productive. You hear the structural engineer questioning the architect's design choice, not out of disrespect, but because he sees a potential load-bearing issue. You hear the site foreman pushing back on the schedule, not because he's lazy, but because he knows the weather forecast and the reality of his crew's fatigue. This kind of conflict isn't personal, it's a passionate pursuit of the best possible outcome. It's how you avoid the kind of groupthink that leads to building a bridge to nowhere. It's messy, it's noisy, but it's absolutely essential. So, you've argued, you've debated, you've poked holes in every idea. What happens next? This is where the third dysfunction, a lack of commitment, rears its ugly head. This happens when a team has a discussion but they never actually land the plane. A decision is made, or sort of made, but because not everyone got to weigh in, or because the goals are fuzzy, people walk away with different interpretations. They might nod their heads in the room, but in their gut, they haven't truly bought in. They go back to their part of the job and do what they think is best, not what the team actually decided. This passive resistance, this lack of unified buy-in, is a cancer on a project schedule. It leads to confusion, rework, and a team pulling in 10 different directions at once. The antidote here is clarity and closure. A team that masters conflict must also master commitment. It's based on a simple principle. People don't need to get their way, but they do need to be heard. After a healthy debate where everyone has had their say, the leader needs to be able to make a call and say, all right, we've heard all sides. This is the direction we're going. The key is to make sure the decision is clear, the goals are understood by everyone, and the marching orders are unambiguous. Regular alignment meetings aren't just for status updates, they are for reinforcing that commitment. This is what we decided. This is why we decided it. Is everyone still clear on the objective? It's about leaving no room for ambiguity. When a team is truly committed, you can feel it. There's a different energy on the site. Everyone is rowing in the same direction, even the ones who originally argued for a different course of action. Why? Because they know their voice was heard and that the final decision was made for the good of the project. They trust the process. This unified front is critical on government jobs, where you're constantly being audited and scrutinized. When every member of the team can articulate the what and the why behind their actions, it projects an image of competence and control. Commitment isn't about blind obedience. It's about a shared conscious decision to rally behind a single plan and see it through. Alright, so you have trust, you're not afraid of a good argument, and you've all committed to a plan. That's great. But it's all for nothing if you fall into the fourth dysfunction, an avoidance of accountability. This is the uncomfortable one. This is where we have to be willing to call each other out when we see something that isn't right. In most teams, we avoid this like the plague. It's so much easier to let the boss be the bad guy. If you see a coworker cutting a corner or slacking on a safety protocol, the temptation is to look the other way. Not my job to police him, you think. The foreman will catch it. But on a construction site, especially one with government oversight, waiting for the foreman might be too late. The most effective form of accountability isn't top-down, it's peer-to-peer. It's when the team itself maintains the standard. This isn't about tattling or creating a culture of fear. It's about creating a culture where everyone feels responsible for the collective success. It's about giving a damn. It's the veteran welder telling the rookie, hey, your bead looks a little cold there. Let's run another pass. It's the carpenter reminding the electrician, don't forget your safety harness on that lift. This only happens when the team is committed to the same clear goals. When everyone knows what success looks like, what the key performance indicators are, it's easier to see when someone is veering off track. It's not a personal attack, it's a course correction. To make this work, you need tools. You need publicly displayed goals, simple dashboards that show progress, and clear standards that everyone has agreed to. When the standards are clear, holding someone accountable becomes less about personal opinion and more about an objective fact. Hey Bob, we all agreed to have the framework for this section done by Friday. It looks like we're falling behind. What's the holdup? How can we help? It changes the entire dynamic. It transforms accountability from a dreaded confrontation into a supportive conversation. It strengthens compliance, it improves execution, and it ensures the quality of the work is something everyone on the team can be proud of. It's about having each other's backs, even when it's hard. We've finally arrived at the top of the pyramid, the ultimate dysfunction: inattention to results. This is the tendency for team members to focus on their own status, their own ego, or their own department's goals instead of the collective success of the entire project. You see it all the time. The electrical team finishes their work on schedule and pats themselves on the back, even if their wiring prevents the HVAC team from doing their job, putting the whole project behind. They achieved their individual goal, but the project failed. This is what happens when we value our own performance more than the final score. It's the ultimate betrayal of the team. On a government construction project, the only result that matters is the successful completion of the job. It's not about which subcontractor finished first or which individual looked the best. It's about delivering a safe, quality building or piece of infrastructure on time and on budget for the public. The focus must be relentlessly collective. The team wins together or it loses together. There's no in-between. To fight this dysfunction, the team's primary goal must be front and center at all times. The project's success has to be the #1 priority, and everything else, individual egos, departmental turf wars, personal ambition, has to take a back seat. This is where leadership is crucial. Leaders have to make results so clear that no one can ignore them. This means using simple, visible scoreboards or dashboards that track collective progress. Are we on schedule? Are we on budget? Are we meeting our quality and safety targets? It's also about rewarding the team, not just the star players. When bonuses, recognition, and celebrations are tied to the achievement of team goals, it sends a powerful message. We are all in this together. When a team is truly focused on results, they don't care who gets the credit, they just want to win. And in your world, winning means building something that lasts, something that serves the community, and something that everyone involved can point to with pride. So there you have it, the 5 dysfunctions. It's not rocket science, is it? It's about being human. It's about trust, healthy conflict, real commitment, mutual accountability, and a relentless focus on the results that matter. For any company, these ideas are important. But for you folks at Erector Masters working on these massive, high-profile government projects, they are the whole ball game. Overlooking even one of these dysfunctions can create a crack in your team's foundation. A crack that can spread until the entire structure comes tumbling down under the immense pressure of deadlines, budgets, and public scrutiny. Building a bridge or a federal courthouse is a monumental task. It requires skill, precision, and an obscene amount of hard work. But the most important thing you build isn't made of steel or concrete. It's the team that puts it all together. A dysfunctional team can turn a dream project into a nightmare, no matter how skilled the individuals are. But a cohesive team, a team that has overcome these 5 challenges, can achieve incredible things. They can solve impossible problems, overcome unforeseen obstacles, and deliver results that stand the test of time. Patrick Lencioni's framework isn't just a business book, it's a roadmap. It's a practical guide for navigating the messy, unpredictable, and deeply human challenges of getting a group of people to work together toward a common goal. In the high-stakes world of government construction, it's a map that can lead you through the wilderness and help you not just survive, but thrive. Because at the end of the day, the dirtiest job of all can be getting a team to work. But when you get it right, there's nothing more satisfying. Now get back to work.